ఎలక్షన్స్ దగ్గర పడడంతో విజయం మీద రకరకాల ఊహాగానాలు వినిపిస్తున్నాయి. ఈ నేపథ్యంలో హిల్స్బరో మేయర్, డిప్యూటీ మేయర్ TV9 USA తో ప్రస్తుత రాజకీయ పరిస్థితులపై స్పందించారు. 2024 నవంబర్లో జరగబోయే అమెరికా ఎలక్షన్స్ కి సంబంధించి పూర్తిగా మనతో పాటు మాట్లాడడానికి హిల్స్బర్గ్ మేయర్ ఉన్నారు రాబర్ట్. వారితో మనం మాట్లాడదాము. హలో సార్, హౌ ఆర్ యు?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, good sir. And what's your own opinion about the overall elections, American elections?
Well, this is a very interesting time in American elections, right? You have two presidents. You have a previous president who's running for a second term. You have a president who's being challenged by his own party right now, and it's obvious he's having some difficulties. So they have a lot of big decisions to make coming up for their during their big democratic process that they have.
Yeah, somebody thinks the Democrats they need to change the president. Is it fine or what? What's going on?
So they can do whatever they want to do as it relates to how they handle that. But there's delegates that come into that. There's the finances that he's received. It's a very big challenge for them to change him over. If they were, it could be a major problem for the Democrats. I'm not really sure what they're going to do, but it's going to be up to them in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens. If you go back and look at our history, I haven't had many presidents that are much younger than 50. Most of them are older, and they typically take time to work up to something like that. So that's kind of normal. But right now, it's obvious that our president's having some major issues, just speaking in general. So I can see why people would feel that way. So I think whatever the best choice is for this country, I think we're gonna have two very clear choices. We're gonna have either Biden, I think, or we're gonna have Trump. And we have two very different perspectives on the world and the United States. So people have to really make a choice. Because I think it's going to be Biden. I think it's going to be Biden versus Trump. I think that's what's going to happen. We'll see.
Yeah, and everybody, they are watching worldwide. They are watching the American because elections in the November. So they are thinking the changing the president and some issues are going on here. And we saw one video like this twice. Biden is talking about in the NATA meeting.
Yes.
He changed the names, president names.
I know. He said Putin's name for Zelensky, and then he said Vice President Trump versus Vice President Harris. He's clearly having some challenges. It's obvious he's having some difficulties.
Yeah, what's you are thinking like that? He's saying that twice, not only the names. He's saying the last time also in the discussion, in some channel discussion also. Biden and Trump, they are both are in the discussion, but Biden is little bit down.
So if you look at these last two times, if you look at those last two times, that's just two times. So if you look at the last 2 or 3 years, he's had some major problems, and I do think he's having some major difficulties. And that makes me a little bit nervous because he's in charge of the free world, and he has to be focused on protecting our country and making sure that we protect the rest of the world too. So they have a big choice to make.
And the coming next government, what you are thinking to change? What is you are thinking the changings from here?
So for me, safety is most important, especially in Hillsboro Township. Right? We're talking about the nation, right? Then we're also in the state of New Jersey, which is in the nation of the U.S. And then we're talking about Hillsboro Township. What we focus on in Hillsboro Township is safety, making sure we protect people. And I think at the national level, that should be one of the most important things that we do too, because if you're protecting our people, you're protecting our allies as well too, and that's really, really important. Also, you want to make sure you take in as least amount of taxes as possible so people can have as much money in their pocket as they can. If one president wants to take in 40% and the other one wants to take in 20%, the one that wants to only take 20% is probably the way to go. So I mean, it's got to be fiscally responsible, has to be safety, and it has to protect our interests across the world.
ఓకే, సో థ్యాంక్ యూ. సో మొత్తానికైతే ఎలక్షన్స్కి సంబంధించి ప్రతి ఒక్కరు కూడా ఒకటే కోరుకుంటున్నారు. ప్రపంచ దేశాలు కూడా అమెరికా వైపే చూపుతున్నారు. అయితే ఇక్కడ ఎలక్షన్స్ ఏమవుతాయి, ఏం జరుగుతోంది అని చెప్పి డెమోక్రటిక్ అలాగే రిపబ్లికన్స్కి సంబంధించిన ప్రెసిడెంట్ల విషయంలో కూడా అందరూ కూడా మార్పు అనేది కోరుకోవచ్చు. ఎందుకంటే ఏదైతే చర్చా విషయాల్లో కావచ్చు, మిగతా విషయాల్లో అన్నీ కూడా ప్రజలు అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఖచ్చితంగా వచ్చే గవర్నమెంట్ ఏదైనప్పటికీ కూడా మార్పులు అనేవి సహజంగా ఉండాల్సినవి కొన్ని ఉన్నాయి. అవి కనుక రెక్టిఫై చేస్తే అందరూ హ్యాపీగా ఫీల్ అవుతారని చెప్పి మేయర్ తెలిపారు. స్వీటీ, న్యూ జెర్సీ, ఓవర్ టు స్టూడియో.
ఇప్పుడు రాబోయే అమెరికన్ ఎలక్షన్స్ నవంబర్ 2024లో జరగబోతున్నాయి. సో దాని గురించి మాట్లాడడానికి మనతో ఉన్నారు హిల్స్బర్గ్ డిప్యూటీ మేయర్ జాన్. సో హలో సార్, అండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఒపీనియన్ అబౌట్ అప్కమింగ్ ఎలక్షన్స్ ఇన్ ద నవంబర్ 2024?
As every year we have elections locally, but this is a special year because of the presidential election. So every 4 years, the election is not decided yet, meaning we're not really sure who's going to be running. You know, Trump is the front runner on the Republican side and Biden right now on the Democrat side. So they each party has their conventions It's a complicated process, but they need to determine who's going to run actually for president. And every year, there's a peaceful transition, or every 4 years, I should say, for the presidential election, a peaceful transition. So whoever ends up in the office, here locally, we still have to run and function and do our democratic duty. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a wild ride. So, the elections are coming, and we're just going to look again for the peaceful transition of power.
What you think about in the morning? It happened yesterday in the speech. The Biden slipped some in the speech. What you tell about the speech?
Personally, I didn't see it. I was busy doing work for the township. He has an occasional gaffes, and I think it's come. We've seen President Biden with these slip-ups in the past. I mean, even the other candidate, Trump, occasionally has a slip-up. We all have slip-ups, myself as well. So I think with a lot of things going on in your head, sometimes you lose track of what you're saying, and you may slip up. Hopefully I haven't done that, but that's what happens.
And morning we got the news about the presidents, both are the oldest, so experienced, but now we need the new president, like a younger president.
I got it. So you're somebody, even a different generation, several years younger. That is again the transition. Each party has the elder statesman, and they need some. They call it the bench. People who are on the bench, younger, experienced people who are in government or have experience in their cabinet roles. That's the bench for the Republicans and the Democrats, who are going to be the younger politician, the next generation of leaders for the country. So this election, it seems like it's set, but 4 years from now, when everybody's 4 years older, we're going to, I think, definitely need a new crop of politicians and people from each party backfilling those roles.